Good evening, and welcome to the Cider Enterprises Book Club conference call. I am your hostess, Claudette Redic, and so glad to have each caller on the line and my guests join me in this wonderful new year. Many of you I haven't interacted with since 2016, and I want to make sure that you know I, Claudette Redic, wish you a wonderful and happy new year. You know, 2017 is our year of opulence and abundance, and I'm just so happy to be a part of that with the new authors that will be joining us this year. And today's featured guest is King Teasdell. He's one of my brothers from another mother who makes an impact in the lives of many of us. But he'll be sharing with us tonight his book that's upcoming, The King's Letter to the Living Body, a tribute to Reverend Dr. King and the Life of Love, and also his Souls of Life Society. That's an important new development, I believe, in the life of Mr. Teasdell that set the tone for that King's Letter. And I am going to invite you in now, if you will, King, and just say hello to our audience so they'll know you're here.
Excellent. Peace and blessings, family. It is such a pleasure to be a part of this glorious experience with Claudette, and I truly give thanks for everybody who's on the line, and of course to our Creator. Ashe.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, King. I tell you, man, I talked about the new books for 2017 and the fact that you've got one coming out and I've got one coming out. So who better could I go with to discuss this journey than Brother King? You're such a comforter and a straightforward guy who seems to really, really have your life in order. And I appreciate this opportunity we're sharing tonight together.
Well, I definitely thank you that, because it's interesting you mentioned that aspect of seeing I had my life together. If it presents itself like that, then I'm doing a pretty good job, because what I can look at is there's a lot of things I still need to put in order. But, of course, that's all of us, and I give thanks for that openness.
Oh, yes. I like I said, Cider Enterprises Book Club conference call is more than a little appreciative of the people who come and give their stories. We feature authors who are overcomers, and just having heard some of your life story over time, I know you've overcome a lot of things to get to the point of publication. And we're going to share some of those stories from that journey as we proceed in the call. But I'd like to take a moment here and just thank the Lord really for 2016's completion. We were blessed with some of the greatest authors around on the book club conference call. In September, we featured Asada Kirkland, who has brought the Soulful Chicago Literary Fair to us. And she was just kind of sharing in her story in September how she had to overcome a lot of opposition, a lot of people who didn't even believe it possible. And her story was one of joy. Cider has continued on in her journey, and she did a Kwanzaa event. She will be doing a Black History Month book fair, in addition to her upcoming Summer in Chicago Soulful Chicago Literary Fair for the second year. October gave me that wonderful Kathleen Y. Robinson and her The Store Story. Was a delight to my ears. It was during a time when we were celebrating the anniversary of the migrants moving away from the South, and her family landed here in Chicago, and they created their own legacy with the store. November brought me Carla LeBeau Hawkins. She had a insightful story that was just so appropriate for many of us. Mama Never Told Me was her title, and there were many things she felt her mom had not shared with her. But she, being an overcomer, she took care of that, and she lives a wonderful life of spirit and love. December, we had two authors. My intent was showing material and gifts for children, and I had Kajara Nia Nebbit for Light as a Feather book, and Wanda Jenkins Clemens, Kwame and Kids series. And those authors from 2016 made a great time for the Cider Enterprises Book Club conference call. As I said, they were all overcomers, and they each have a separate story of things they overcame and how they came back to share them with us, the callers, in love. So without further ado, I'm going to get to 2017. It's time. Opulence and abundance are sealed. So, King, can I have you come on the line first off and kind of tell people who you are and where you come from and why you have the Souls of Life Society?
Blessings. Thank you, Claudette. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Excellent. I am King Andre Teasdell, Baltimore native, who one could say lived the life of a paramedic in the inner city for over 20 years, which allowed me the experiences of many circumstances and situations of which I approached from a spiritual perspective in order to handle the trauma, the emotional upset, if you will, and not only of my inner being, but of those whom I had to render service to. I had, from that experience, discovered that there's two things that life seems to present to us on a regular basis, and that is relationships, and whether those relationships have love or do not have love. And living the life of a paramedic, you're here to save lives, but you can't save every life. So there's that balance of life and death that is constantly in front of us. And those who love life do the things to manifest life's living. But those who are not in favor of the positivity that life can bring seem to bring death. That's when we start dealing with the drug kingpins and the drug lords coming into the city and just doing drive-bys and things of that nature, which causes devastation to a lot of communities and a lot of families. And that's what caused me to bring to the table the Souls of Life Society as an organization for people who believe that life is very precious and very real. And so,
how did you do that?
Yes. I'm sorry.
No, I'm asking, how did you get these people? These were pretty much people that you had, offered your medical care to, that the society was formed from, or help me to understand who were the people who came originally.
What the Souls of Life Society had manifested in me is the idea from the experiences that I had from those encounters with people. And I had formulated that because I said, I prayed. I did a lot of praying in order for me to make it through. And the Souls of Life Society is pretty much a download from the Spirit, which it shows me that people need God no matter what impression God has on your life, no matter what name you may call him. People need God. And so the motto for the organization is through the power bestowed by God and mankind, to do what must be done. Because I saw that government really doesn't step in to help people nor does the church, if you will, step in to help people conquer a lot of the things that need to be done, because there's so much that must be done. But we all have to get these things done together. And not saying that the churches aren't doing anything for people, and I'm not saying that the government is not doing anything for the people. What I'm saying is that there is so much to be done that we need the unity that is required in order to make it happen. So harmonizing the unity needed for us as humanity to survive is key.
So what makes you different than the church and local government? What do you do? Say, is this a meeting that we come to, or do we go online to be a part of the Souls of Life Society? How do we get engaged?
I have a website, www.soulsoflifesociety.org. And those who are interested in the campaigns that we are actually kicking off in this year, 2017, are more than welcome to join in. We have everything lined up and ready to go. Over the past 26 years, I've been working with the Souls of Life Society Foundation to get it to where it needs to be crisp and ready to take off. We have a lineup for housing, for moral discipline and ethical values. We are looking to get the recreation centers back into our community, but we want to change the sound from recreation to recreation, because when we look around us, I think we did quite a bit to recreation, and the mess that we've made does not reflect what God's desire is for us. So developing the recreation centers will help instill in our youth the morals and the values that are required to live a more productive life. Yes.
So it sounds like you're offering a host of life services, skills, coaching, mentoring. Is that correct? That's true. Okay.
I actually have just finished my certification for spiritual life coaching. I received my certification in May from the Destiny Training Academy through Reverend Valerie Love. So I'm excited about getting that established and accomplished.
Well, the Souls of Life, is this primarily men, or can I, a woman, come and join this? How does this happen? I know we all need help and something to hold on to, but who's your focus target?
The focus target is actually blacks, and the reason being is because when we harmonize the unity needed for black organizations to thrive, we manifest what is required for humanity to survive, because we as the African people, being the first people of the planet, we are what one would say we're the founders of civilization and the original man and woman of the earth. And because of that, once we manifest what's required to get ourselves in gear, we can help promote the spiritual energy and vibration for the rest of the planet. So everybody's involved. Anybody wants to participate, they can. Black, white, Korean, you name it. Mexican, male, female. We're looking for everybody.
And what city is it you live in, you say?
Baltimore.
Oh, you're in Baltimore. Okay. I didn't know. I'm like, where does he live at with all those wonderful people? When I was reviewing your, I guess your intro, you really helped me to focus in on your thoughts that the time is overdue to begin brand new with new eyes, and the renewal of clear thought through and by recognizing that every breathing soul exists through the same common strand that makes us all one living body. So in your society, shall we say, is there something just common everybody must do or process everybody should embrace in order for us to be part of this one living body? That common strand.
The common strand is love. A lot of people don't recognize it, but oftentimes we drift away from the consciousness of love because of the stress and the strife that we encounter during our living. But we have to maintain the consciousness of recognizing that every action that we take should be an action that is taken in love and out of love.
I agree. I do. I'm just listening to your content and list of services that you do, and it sounds as though you have a real tight network of collaborative partners who can help you fulfill, the services that you're telling others they can receive by being a part of the society. Is this correct?
Yes. Right now we're still building. I just met with an organization this past weekend called Black Men Uniting Black Men, of which we are looking at accomplishing some of these goals and perspectives. We just finished having an election shift, if you will, of members in our government, which we had at least 3 of those members at the meeting, and they are receptive to our suggestions, and we're looking forward to some positive things because we also have a new mayor, and so everything is shifting for the better here.
I tell you what, that goes along with our new president too. a new president, and you've got an old but long and lasting vision for the old and the new presidents and mayors that may come to Baltimore, it sounds like. And
if I may add, Claudette,
it's
interesting that you mentioned that we have a new president. One of the things that has been on my heart is to develop a campaign of love. Martin Luther King had a campaign of love. Marvin Gaye was considered the minister of love. And so I have a Blog Talk radio program coming up on January 26th called King's Philosophy is Love. And the campaign that I'm looking to put forth, I want to get that initiated probably on the 26th and bring that up come Black History Month, because there has been a lot of negative responses and emotion that has arisen from people who discovered that Trump was the president-elect, and they feel that hate and negativity is going to resurface. Well, with that being said, I'm going to be calling forth 5,000 kings, because kings are responsible and they will take all the responsibility. And I'm going to be calling those kings out of the ABCs, if you will. That's going to be Atlanta, Baltimore, Chicago, and Detroit, so that we can galvanize what's necessary to do what is required to move forward, to show love, because a lot of people are stepping away from love, and we have to embrace love so that that can be the dominant factor instead of hate.
Well, I certainly look forward to seeing all these men. 5,000 of them will be gathering and working a campaign of love. What's that going to look like then? Is that going to vary from city to city, a campaign of love, or you guys have some prescribed methods and methodologies you want each city to make use of?
With the Soul for Life Society has a mission statement, which I want to share with those persons, because this is going to be a brand new project that's going to start in the month of February. And I want the input of those persons involved, as well as anybody who's interested in what they want to see happen, because our communities need a lot of help. And the biggest problem, I think, is this black-on-black crime, where, our youth are being killed in the street unnecessarily.
Yes, and we know that's unnecessarily. We were in a conversation earlier today, and we were talking about ways to reduce violence and some of the reasons for the violence. And it was like, we need more jobs. And I was really made aware that people driving by, they're not shooting others, they're not looking for any jobs. So, to me, this campaign, Get Back Just to Love, I just imagine a place, a space that you can just come and be safely, and with others who believe that we can do good things to help our society. So this campaign of love with 5,000 men, that sounds phenomenal.
Thank you.
Yes. Before I go on to your book here briefly, I just wanted to comment on your trip, your spiritual training and learning. I saw you recently were in Sedona, Arizona. Can you share a little bit about what that trip was for, or what you did there?
For me, it was like a pilgrimage, if you will. The philosophies that I deal with primarily is a collective combination of the natural philosophies, moral philosophies, and metaphysical philosophies. Sedona is a place that has a high energy vortex, and that aids in cleansing and allowing your energy centers, the energy centers of the body, to be aligned more, to maintain an alignment for the things and the projects that you wish to do. We did some training, we had some coaching, we did some chanting. It was just an exhilarating experience. We were about 5,000 feet high, and as far as altitude is concerned, we had the chance to actually climb onto the rocks, and it was spiritual uplifting. I really did appreciate that experience.
It looked, as I watched the pictures on the Facebook page, like it was invigorating and refreshing and renewing. You guys looked so peaceful in your white, sitting there by the side of the mountain. I was like, now that seems like a wonderful way just to restore and renew your inner spiritual guidance, core.
Yeah.
So I appreciate your sharing that with us. I'm going to briefly ask you to tell us why you have the King's Letter to the Living Body, a tribute to Reverend Dr. King and the Life of Love. Why did you write that?
The two things that I find most important for everybody is life and love. When I look for the commonality of all people, that commonality is life and love. It doesn't matter who you are or where you are. Life and love are key components to everybody's existence. I saw that it's necessary to build off that foundation and allow the growth and development of everybody from that being the seed that is planted so that we can evolve to the next level of spiritual awareness and relationship with one another. And the reason why I dedicated it to the Reverend Dr. King is because of his philosophy in regards to a nonviolent movement, his philosophies regarding love, and his spirituality, which is based on the Southern Christian Leadership Conference collaboration, because a lot of people have come to a place of questioning whether Christianity is for us or against us, because because I've heard a lot of people who have grown in the Black Conscious Awareness movement tell me that the Bible promotes slavery and a lot of other negative things that really is not true. What the Bible is a book of code, and you have to have a spiritual connect in order to better perceive what is shared from what the Bible has for us to move forward as far as life is concerned. So I brought the book together to have people recognize a little clearly that this journey is a spiritual journey, and we should not get clouded or distracted by the negative talk that others will throw out there that may deceive us into believing something that's not true.
I agree. Dr. King certainly was an example for all of us. And, you know, I think about some of the major changes we've had in history, and a great majority that have lasted were nonviolent movements. You know, people had a whole wall drop in China nonviolently. And then Dr. King, he had a lot of abuse, you know, rendered to him, but he remained true to his commitment that they were not going to throw him off his game. He was not going to, you know, rear back and punch somebody out. And he did give us a living example. And this week, as I was going to Martin Luther King tributes, I don't think too many people even talked about his nonviolence. It was just that the man had a dream. He was great. We loved him. But how we could take that very technique of nonviolence and change our communities was never once discussed. So I thank you. I'm looking forward to actually having that book in hand soon. And I'd like you to take a moment here and tell people how they can, like, pre-order it or go to your site and express an interest in purchasing the books.
I have a PayPal account called, paypal.me//King Philosophy.
Okay.
/25.
You want to give that again?
That is paypal.me//King Philosophy /25.
Okay. Go ahead.
Of which I will have a pre-order set up on my webpage, which is the Souls of Life Society. So you can either go to www.soulsoflifesociety.org or go directly to paypal.me/King Philosophy /25 and order the book through those. So this will be a pre-ordered book because the book launch is to be in the second week of February, Black History Month.
All right. That's a powerful time.
Yeah.
Well, King, I thank you so much for sharing with us, and I ask you not to go away, but I've got to do my part. Since I put the word out there, too, that I, too, would be having a book coming out, I at least have to address that. And I am going to say that it is not finished, but I'm on my way. And my title is Instant Ain't Everything. It's experiences that help us harness the energy of ideas that provide a profitable business ventures. Most people know me that I am an entrepreneur, and I guess I've been that most of my life. And I just kind of share in Instant Ain't Everything 5 components that really directed me to who I am today. And who I am today is a lifestyle. I'm not necessarily just this, that, or the other, but I embrace all of me, and I focus. I've harnessed my own ideas and energies to focus on entrepreneurship coaching. I look for people who have life experiences and want to turn them into profitable ventures. I am also a lover of books. The Cider Enterprises Book Club Conference Call is just an offshoot, if you will, of my love of writing and reading. I've been around with books, I guess, since I was about 3. I started reading and can recall stories early on. But thirdly, I want to build Sisters Home, the place of love and action. And instant ain't everything. I'm telling you how I got to even desire such a place of welcome that's built in tribute to African American women, that displays opulence and elegance. It's here in Chicago, and people from around the world will be traveling to Sisters Home, the place of love and action. I'd like to share just a few paragraphs from one of the segments for those who know that I'm an entrepreneur. I just kind of start out with that part of it. Serial startups are likely in entrepreneurship. And many of my childhood experiences in entrepreneurship were a result of growing up as the daughter of the owner of a local beauty salon. For quite a few years, we were the only black-owned business in our neighborhood. And we lived within the LeClaire Courts project on the southwest side of Chicago, where our church spanned the blocks from 43rd Street on the north to the south border of 45th Street. There might have been 10 blocks between our east and west boundaries. However, white people surrounded us and sometimes held us prisoner with their Jim Crow practices. During that time, segregation was the Chicago way, and we seemed to only gain expansions in increments of block by block, in my mind. At the time my mother became an owner of the salon, we had been allowed to move 2 whole blocks south to a main thoroughfare. We had little opposition to our business as we served only black people initially, but as time went on and racial hatred flared to a point, we children could only travel in packs for protection through our own neighborhood. The punks thought it was fun to egg us, our cars, and storefront windows. My brothers and I had specific duties inside the salon as we became teenagers, and Mom set us up in an apartment in back where we stayed until the last customer was finished. Then we went home together. And my earliest assignment at that salon was to watch the customers' kids while they received service. I love playing with children. I created a routine that kept them busy and unobtrusive to the adults. It wasn't long after that I began getting paid babysitting jobs. And Mom allowed me to keep my earnings, and I would save and hold that money until I could purchase things I wanted. I made sure I had more than enough for what I wanted because it was important to me to have some money left over. I liked the idea of having money. It gave me something more to hold over my brother's head. They seemed to always be asking me for a loan, and I made sure that they paid me back with interest too. Part of that early entrepreneurial training that I received was learning how to appreciate the customer. One of my hardest tasks in working with my family in the business was learning to keep my mouth shut. I had fun and freedom, but I also had a lot of opinions. And my mom, she was not one to gossip. She usually turned conversations about fashion or some hairdo or makeup technique that would help a customer. But she made sure that I did not run my opinion through her salon. She always told me it's about the customer, not you. And sometimes it took those quick flips to my lips or glasses to the floor before I got what she meant by that. It's about the customer, not about you. And my story goes on over here, just a couple of paragraphs in here, but I wanted people to know that I spent most of my life doing something where I earned money. And later in life, I had gone off to college and people started calling my activities for making money hustles. For a long while, I agreed with that term until college taught me that was not true. I am actually an entrepreneur. And the classes in finance and accounting gave me this new language. I had operated most of my ventures on a cash flow basis, and it was many years later that I found out I was really poor. I had always had money for what I wanted. In accordance with my financial understanding of today, I now look at it another way. Having a regular cash flow gave me enough money to conduct a fulfilling quality of life, but it did not create wealth. It was much later that I began to consider stocks, bonds, houses, and other chosen means to accumulate a long-term wealth. I see Swift's home, the place of love and action, as another avenue of entrepreneurial expression. Everything inside this place of love and action will be independently owned or leased by other business people. We'll have a place for the family to come. We're going to be in the midst of the upcoming Obama Library, Tiger Woods, golf course. We will be here in Chicago with a place of welcome as a tribute to African American women. And I see our foundations as those of health, hope, and hospitality. That's my goal, to share creative, warm, and welcoming spaces with the world. I am off to completing this book. This story is long, but I am going to shorten it. I've got a ways to go in terms of completion, but I expect by my birthday next month, also Black History Month, the month of love, that it will be finished. So I'd like to have you, King, if you will, share a few of your issues you might have encountered in writing your story, because I had some. And the biggest one that I had was myself. I self-imposed and just sabotaged things upon myself that kept me from completing it with my originally scheduled deadline. How about you? How did you get through all of this?
Well, it's a continued process. One of the things that I find important is to find a quiet place to write and to meditate, to quiet my mind. Before coming into that awareness, I thought that I could just run in and just start writing and grabbing things, and it just doesn't work like that. Time management. That's the hardest thing for me because I work a 9 to 5. Which is actually like 6:30 until 3. And then I work part-time as a limousine driver. So in order to make ends meet, I'm constantly working in order to make money, which kind of works against what's necessary for me to get a completed project together as far as the book is concerned. But what I found is I can't look to find the time. I have to make the time. And when I thought about that, I said, we are creators, so we got to make the time, and we can make that happen.
I agree. I was blessed with an opportunity to go away over the holidays and visit my son in Vegas. And I know that I wrote more in those days I had there than I've done since I've been back. It was just the pleasure of waking up, and my only intention was to see what I needed to do. And I woke up writing. I went to sleep writing. I'd have to make myself get up after a few hours and go walking. Thank God the weather was beautiful, but while I was out there in nature, I became even more inspired, and could hardly wait to run back to my computer so I could type a few more paragraphs. But you do need an dedicated time, I tell you.
And give me the name of your book again.
Instant ain't everything.
The first part is what?
Instant ain't everything.
Okay, instinct. Gotcha.
Yeah, immediately is not everything. Instant ain't everything. So I want people like us to know the value in our life experiences in creating the life we want. You know, we didn't just get here by naught, and we got so much we can draw from that we can have a fulfilling life the rest of our days. That's the way I see it. And that's why I'm working hard to get the book out, to just be a product I can leave behind and share my story of why I want to have Sisters Home, why I do entrepreneurial coaching, why I have the book club conference call. Those things are important to me.
Excellent. So I'm understanding that's instant, not instinct. Like we live in a microwave society. Is that what I'm capturing?
I'm talking about like Google, search instant, echo, instant.
Okay. I got you. Yeah.
Yes. I would get up and get myself inspired with, of course, some spiritual quiet time before I began writing. But I found that it was important to me, too. I like affirmations and statements, and I've worked with some that really energized me. And my most powerful one, I think I got from 1 Timothy, and that was, I am rich, prosperous, healthy, and wealthy, and the grace of the Lord overflows from me. Every doubt, every step I had, you can't do it, you're not going to be good enough, who wants to hear your story? I would go back to the grace of the Lord overflows from me, and I can write far better and more consistently just by reminding myself that I don't have to be a literary genius. I don't have to know it all. All I have to do is do my part, tell the story. So I'm grateful that was the kind of thing that helped me. And I also want everybody to know, too, that both you and I have been inspired by Joanne Reed. That woman, that publisher, that author herself, she's an editor, a coach. She's been on me. And she's been right with me as I journey through getting my story down. How about you?
Yes, same here. Joanne, our spiritual community, Janine, but Joanne has been there for me every step of the way. She's helped me with my website. She's such a beautiful spirit, and I am so grateful for her presence, because it's like when God sends an angel to you, the angel has a responsibility that they already know, and you may not have a clue what it may be, but they know exactly what they need to do. And they're going to jump on it and make sure you jump on it too. And that's Joanne.
Oh, yeah. I tell you, and she keeps everything so perfect. I know she's had a tough time with me because every deadline I said I was going to make, I missed. And I would just back up in fear. I couldn't release any words. It was like, what are they going to say? I wouldn't do it, but I kept writing. So, like I said, I'm going to make my deadline for my birthday, February 11th. It will be complete, Joanne.
Excellent.
Yes. So, King, if you don't mind, I'd like to open our line up and see if people have questions for aspiring authors and want to ask us anything in particular. If you have a question for King Teasdell, King Andre Teasdell, or Claudette Redic, please start with your phone.
Well, good evening. I would like to just commend the both of y'all for being motivated by situations you saw in your community and becoming inspired to do something about it, to do something different, to make a difference in the lives of other people. And so I thank y'all for stepping up and saying yes and answering the call. God bless you. And I'm looking forward to seeing the finished product.
It's coming. It's coming.
Well, I'm going to make sure of that.
King's further along. He's got a great cover picture. I'm sitting here imagining, well, what does instant everything look like, Claudette? Should it be a magic trick? Should it be you running through something or what? So we're making steps to conclusion, I must say.
It'll come. It'll definitely come. And I have some suggestions, to for you to kind of help you formulate what it is that you want to reflect.
Well, I really look forward to it, and just, having a ride or die partner is important when you got a project like a book. Somebody who will stay with you, and this woman, I've heard she helped a blind woman write a book. So, I didn't know. She's good.
Well, personally, I think you're closer to the end result than you think, or that you give yourself credit for.
Pardon?
I said I think you're closer to the end result more than you think, or give yourself credit for.
Okay, well, I'm going to listen to that and hold that in, and tomorrow when I get to write some more, I'm like, yeah, you said you're almost there. Yeah. Hey.
Claudette? Yes.
Hello?
That is fantastic. You know what I heard when you said that is Claudette actually moved into a different space and consciousness, because she said that when she went to visit her son, the energy that she had shifted her into a place to where she woke up writing. And I agree with you when you say that she's closer than she gives herself credit for, because that's a beautiful thing to be able to wake up writing. That's what I'm looking for.
Well, thank you. I'll accept that compliment. Let's just get it to completion. Really, I find my story to be, to me, super important as I began my campaign to build Sisters Home. And they're like, what is that? What is that? And my story, Instant Ain't Everything, is going to explain it, I think, clearly, lay it out, and let them see how they can help build this place. Because that's what it's about. I will be traveling the globe, telling people the good news about Sisters Home, the place of love and action. And I expect to also be collecting donations and contributions in that process. So my story will be ready. I do not want to waste another year before I begin that building campaign, and that's what it's about for me.
Amen. And I want to thank both of y'all for your beautiful expressions, of my services and support to y'all. It really means a lot to me, to know how y'all feel. And so thank you so much. I love both of you very much.
Love you too. Thank you.
You do. The Cider Enterprise Book Club conference call has had, over 3 years into our fourth season, several major focuses on publishing books. And we've had Melinda Ty and you yourself, Joanne, how to self-publish in excellence. And so we've had some models. And in addition to that, we've got a lot of people in our community who are now putting them books out there. We got to get our story out there, too, because they're equally important. And I think they're just a broader collaboration of people who love the Lord, first of all. They want to help other people, and they got something they can do to make it happen. So this community is really increasing, and I like the fact that we've got, an opportunity for aspiring or new authors or even seasoned authors to come on and share their story with people who have the opportunity to question them, to comment, on the call.
Claudette, if I may add something.
Yes.
I have to admit, I come from a background of manual laborers. My father was a mechanic. Being a paramedic, I'm out there with my hands. Everything that my previous experiences taught me was I have to have hands-on activity with. I have to tighten the bolt, or I have to do some carpentry or something like that. But writing a book is a totally different zone. And when I came to work as an assistant with the Public Information Office with the Baltimore City Fire Department, I came to recognize the power of words. And it shifted my consciousness from being a manual laborer to recognizing that words have a great power, because we would send out a document, which we call like a general order, or which was signed by the chief, which we sent out that memo, and that memo activated everybody in the community of the firefighters. If by chance we needed X number of firefighters and fire apparatus at a location for a parade, or they needed to stand as standby at a certain event, all of what was required was the chief, somebody sent a letter in, which was words, to the chief, which he sent those words to us, and we put those words on paper, sent it out to the various firehouses, and it brought forth an action. And so I've come to recognize that words bring forth action, and as we move forward in putting our experiences into words, it will help others to manifest the actions that are necessary in their lives to move forward too.
I agree. I've always been one pretty flip of the mouth, those who know me. So I had words. What I had to change was the tone of those words, because or I could slay you and never curse you with those words. And now,
Claudette.
Yes.
Claudette.
Yes.
Hey, Claudette.
I
can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, this is Catherine. Hello, everybody. This is Catherine Jackson. I finally figure out how to talk for the last two sessions. I would just like to say that first, to the gentleman that is talking, congratulations on you walking that journey, and of course to my sister, I just cannot wait to be one of the persons that do your book signing when your book comes out. And by you doing what you're doing is truly encouraging the book that we've talked about that's inside of me. And just say, because you're moving forward and telling your story will just bless us in so many ways to make that happen. And I do find that because I've been just writing down my thoughts and challenges, that it helps. It's just something that appears to be like inside of you that you want to be able to tell it, and it has worked. And I just really like to be able to say that I'm just so proud of the work that you're doing, and I'm looking forward to Joanne being able to kind of get me kick-started, because I just see the work that's being done. But I think Sister Claudette, the sister home has already been birthed in all the sisters that's around us by your work, by constantly encouraging others that we can do that. And the more that I am reading, the more that I desire
to also tell my story and to encourage us to tell our story, her story, his story, and so that our children, our future will be able to see the work that's being done. And I do have a question for both of the authors, and that is, do you have to understand the English language to a point of, like, is this a verb, is this an adjective, is this paragraph complete, or do you just write how you feel and worry about that later?
Well, I took the step forward having come from a book seminar, and one of the key things that got me to writing was you don't want to be a literary genius. You don't even have to know how to spell. I'm like, what? Because we spend so much time with the grammar and the syntax and all of that stuff. No, just get the words down. There are people out here who, like Joanne Meachams and many other editors and stuff, that can help you get the words in the order that comes out best for your story. So I just say, put the words down. We're encouraged to keep diaries and journals, and I have, just little folders of notes, things that matter to me, a saying someone will give me, and it just kind of sticks. And I'm like, And some of those, you just put them down and let them take course themselves. The story will emerge if you can get the words down.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate your call. And I just want to make certain again, King, that you get to share your contact information with our audience.
Yes. My website is www.soulsoflifesociety.org, and I can be contacted, well, not contacted. I can be contacted at 410-419-1226. That's my cell phone number. And I also have a PayPal account, which is paypal.me/KingsPhilosophy25. And you can actually pre-order a book there, which will be a signed copy, autographed, if I may say. And with the phone number and that contact information, we can definitely have a pre-conversation regarding whether life coaching is an ideal fit for you and I.
All right. Well, I thank you so much, King, for just agreeing to come aboard tonight. You and I are in a community, if you will, of many authors. So I think the push to get our stories out was even greater for the both of us. What are you waiting for, King? What are you waiting for, Claudette? You guys say you got this. Let's see that story. So a challenge always works well with me. Okay, can I do it? Yes.
Claudette.
Yes.
Peace and blessings. This is Jackie from Maryland. I just wanted to take this opportunity to say congratulations to the King and to the Queen.
Hey.
That is so good. I absolutely love it. Y'all keep doing what you're doing, and know that what you are doing, it is for healing of the planet, but you're healing yourself first as you are sharing your stories. And I just want to say thank you all. Thank you both so very much, and much success to two #1 best-selling authors. Y'all got authors on your names now. Y'all got authors on your titles now. That's what's up. I love y'all. Peace and blessings. Thank you.
Love you, Jackie.
Thank you much, Jackie. We do love you. Oh, I appreciate all of our callers on the line tonight, and I want you to know that next month February 16th, we're going to be featuring another great author, Miss Hezekiah.
Yes, I'm here. yes, I'm here. Listen, so I'm so glad this is perfect timing for me to chime in and say congratulations to both of you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for enlightening us tonight. Brother King, you're always an enlightenment, and appreciate you so much for bringing, and I can't wait to get your book because I know it's going to add a different perspective to our amazing reader, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And Claudette, girlfriend, I was getting so tickled just listening to the part of your story because I could just see you as a little girl with your little entrepreneur self. I can't wait to hear more about that. I just want to say congratulations to both of you. I just want to say as a brand new author, I went through so many of the struggles, challenges, and things that you guys went through, and I'm so glad we are both coming on the other side of that. All of us are coming on the other side of that. So congratulations, much success to you, $1 million books, New York Times bestsellers, millions of copies sold all over the world. Thank you, God, I say. And I love you. Okay, you can go ahead, Colette, and tell me when I'm coming up.
Zakiya will be our author, February 16th, 2017. Jamaica, a memoir of miracles, manifestations, and love. And she is telling her story like none you've heard before. Come on and hear my sister on February 16th. She, too, talks about a retreat kind of life. Very much like Sister's Home, but hey, there's room for many wonderful places for us to relax, to enjoy, to experience miracles and manifestations and love. So join us February 16th with Miss Zakiya Aminga. And our final closing invitation to all of you, the Cider Enterprises Book Club conference call. We've had, like I said, you might just think I'm joking when I say we've had some phenomenal authors in these 3 years. And so much so that 3 of the authors will be celebrated in a ceremony this coming weekend at the Melody of Joy Institute. Mr. Ernest Abdullah, The Game of Life and How to Play It, and our own Janine Ingram, Born to be Rich. So if you can join us this Saturday, it's a family-friendly event. It's located at 8151 South Chicago Avenue, and it's from 1 to 3:30. You'll be meeting our most new acquaintances and hope for the future, the Global Girls Inc. Come out and see these young ladies at their finest as we celebrate at the Melody of Joy Institute. So I appreciate all of you callers. I look forward to seeing or hearing from you again February 16th. God bless, and let this year of opulence and abundance be yours. Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Love you.
Love and light. Good night.
Namaste.